Hey guys, it's Gypsy at the Paper Lion. Just coming in with a short tutorial. Hopefully it'll be short. I'm gonna try to make my videos this year more watchable by shortening the time. But today what we're gonna be working on is just like a mass make sort of journal card tag using things that are very inexpensive. Um, I'm going to be making a playlist where I focus on crafting on a budget, because I know there might be some of you who like to craft, but you can't really afford the more expensive things. I do buy some of the expensive things, but I do also really love it when I find something inexpensive at maybe a thrift store or at the Dollar Tree or something like that. And I just want to focus more on making things that won't break the bank. So today what we're going to be using is out of season decorator paper. And there's so many, 4 seasons, so many holidays that you can find, always you'll be able to find this. And this is another thing that I want to focus on, stuff that's like easy for many people to get. So say for instance, Christmas just passed. In another video I explained, or I tried to explain, my thing wouldn't record, but I don't make holiday journals. I don't make really, I might make themed like seasonal journals, but I even sometimes steer away from those because I don't want to make a winter journal and then it doesn't sell in winter and then I have to wait all the way around to the next winter to put it out. So I usually just do like general journals, something like this where it can be, used throughout the season. Of course, this is more shabby chic, but of course you can use that anytime. But anyway, back to what we're using. This one, like right now with the holiday just being over, you still might be able to find it like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, some of their Christmas or winter pads that are on sale. I know at Hobby Lobby, I think the Christmas stuff was like 70 or 90% off now. So you might be able to get something. So all of this, I can't use it because I'm not, even if I did make, Christmas or holiday journals, I wouldn't be making them now because Christmas is over. But what this is still really super good cardstock. I don't know about you guys, but where I live, cardstock is kind of expensive if you want to buy it in bulk. But something like this, 75% off or even 90% off, costs you a couple of dollars, and you got all those pages. So that's what I did with this project, or as the base of this project, is I made a couple of master boards. And to me, master boards is one of those things I find very daunting because I've tried making them in the past with like just random scraps, and they never really seem to be cohesive. They don't ever, to me, well, at least the ones that I've made don't just seem to flow. So I use just regular book page, nothing brilliant, nothing you guys haven't seen before, but I used the cardstock from that Christmas pad, and of course I covered up the side that I didn't want to be shown, and I'm just left with the beautiful cardstock on the back. And of course this can be stenciled, once you cut it, ink the edges, bam, perfect little journaling space, or tag with a journaling space. So on this one, on these three, I did 3. I just used regular book page, and it didn't have to be in any particular order. And I think that's perfect because now I have a base to be able to use with lots of different things. Of course, you can stamp yours with like words or whatever. I didn't do that to mine because since I wanted to do this kind of like a mass make, I decided I'd cut it, into whatever shape I kind of wanted it, and then add like background details later if I wanted to. So say for instance, you want to use this for like spring. If you have it blank, you can add like your stamps, your flower stamps or whatever. But anyway, I'm talking a lot. So I did this one, and all I did was just kind of like brushed over it with some white acrylic paint, and then took like a natural sponge and took some gold and kind of just, sploshed, put it all around. So that makes a beautiful backdrop. Of course, you can take this, and if you wanted to like Mod Podge it, then you could use that as a journal cover. Then, of course, this one I just kind of took and, took my inker and just kind of grunged it up a little bit. And, of course, so easy. Of course, that's a blank canvas for you to do whatever. And the way I was doing it with my papers, I didn't like no particular order. Even the white parts, I decided to keep those. And I'm going to show you how you can kind of cover those up, because I'm going to be doing this one on camera with you. And for this project, I'm going to be using, of course, it's on a, doing it on a budget. So I'm going to be using some stamps from the Dollar Tree, some nice florals. I might not use, I'll probably just use the words from this if I use anything, because I don't really do anything with llamas. I mean, some of you might like llamas. And then, of course, these little florals and like the beehive, which I've got some bee themed journals that I'm working on for the springtime. So stay tuned for those. Also, I'm going to be using on this particular masterboard, I'm going to be using some doilies. Of course, right now they have these heart-shaped ones at the Dollar Tree. So I picked up that. I also picked up a larger pink one. And then, of course, I got these from either like a yard sale or from like a thrift shop. So again, inexpensive, something that most people can find. And also stickers, no fancy anything, all from the Dollar Tree. And you can take these inexpensive things and make something really fun and pretty. I'm not going to be using any lace in this tutorial, but always use your hole punches or your like different shapes. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a really pretty scalloped cutout, regular circles. And of course, I made the blank white ones from the Christmas paper. Those are essential for lots of different projects. But anyway, and maybe a little bit of extra book page, the offcuts or off pieces. But anyway, let's get started. What I wanted to do and show you with this one is I'm actually just going to collage this a little bit with some doilies. So I'm going to take this one and maybe a couple of these. I'm not going to be doing anything pink today, so what I'll do, I won't use the hearts, but I'll use maybe this one. I've got that taped close really good. Alright, so we'll use one of those. And all you have to do to stick these down, of course, is using your paper glue. You don't have to use your fancy glue, because mine, I use this one as my main glue, and it gets quite expensive. After a while, I run through those pretty quickly. So for this, I'm just going to basically run some glue on the back of it. Oh! As I've said many times before, glue is not my friend. I'm in luck though, because that dries clear. So let me just take some plastic. Oop. My desk is a mess, y'all. So I'm just going to take some plastic and lay that down and then glue it. And I like this purple one. It looks really nasty, like it just would ruin it. But of course it dries clear. And I like using this purple one because I can actually see where I've glued. And with the frills in this, it's really going on there, because it's catching on those frills. And look at that. But anyway, that's going to dry clear. So I'm basically just going to place that down. Ugh, I'm making such a mess. Okay, is it gonna glue? After all of that, look, you better stay on this page. I'm playing with you. Okay, so get that down there. Nice. I think it was rising up because, of course, my fingers are all gluey. With this, I have the worst, like, time with glue. Like, it's just not my friend. Like, literally, it's essential to my projects, but we don't get along. All right, so let's see. I'm going to take a couple of these. Actually, a couple of these I'm going to cut in half so that I can put them around the edges. And I've got my fuzzy sweater on today. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like 9 degrees outside here in Texas. And us Texans, we're not really used to all of that. But it seems like for the last couple of years, we've been getting some temps like that. So you can already see the purple starting to go clear. I'm afraid to use that one piece again because it's full of glue and I don't want that to be everywhere. I do have this one right here, this one glue. It's also Elmer's. It's a restick. It allows you to restick it up to 5 minutes. I don't really know how I like this one. I mean, it's still Elmer's, so it's still really good, but I can't really see where I've covered and where I haven't covered with this one. That's why I don't really like that as much. And then if it gets all over, you know, your stuff, you can't see what's going to be sticky and what's not. So anyway, I'm just going to come along the edge with that and just glue that in place. Still getting glue everywhere. Let's see. I use these little plastic things in my faux good Lord, I can't even talk today. In my faux specimen cards. And I'm going to be making a video about that. Show you how I make mine shortly. Oh my goodness, this is just turning into a gluey mess. Of course, I'm going to just glue some over here, and you can always just cut that off. So put one over in this corner a little bit. Like I said, I really can't tell what's being glued and what's not when I use it like this, and I don't. Oh, that was two. So how are you guys? What's the weather like where you guys are? Like I said, right now it's 9 degrees outside. It did snow. And today I was off work anyway because of Martin Luther King, his birthday. But I'm wondering if I'm going to be off tomorrow. What I'm trying to do is get a lot of this ephemera made because, you know, I've got some springtime journals that I want to do. And so I figured what better way on a rainy day, not rainy, I'm sorry, a cold day, is to work towards a warm season using paper from the cold season. So it's like a mix of seasons there. I'm just going to turn this around and go over here in this area. I don't think I really like this glue because of the restick aspect. It doesn't grab it right away. It says it takes like 5 minutes. You can restick it up to 5 minutes, which means the glue is wet for 5 minutes, and with the glue that I normally use. Why is this not? Why am I having such a hard time with this? Let me get back to my purple glue because I'm not. I don't like the fact that it doesn't like grab it right away. And of course, with me being on camera, things like to act up when you got company, when you have an audience. All right, so we're just gonna pop that back down. Of course, glue everywhere. Somebody help me. Do you guys ever have problems with your glue? Me, it's like a constant thing. I can't escape it. All right, so let me cut some of these straight pieces off. That way I can use them. And it doesn't really matter if, you know, it's not like a whole piece of dolly that you're using or whatever. You can just, of course, use these scraps right on up while you're doing it. Turn that on the back side. It might be a little easier. A little bit of the ink transferred from this one, but that's okay because I intend on inking those up when I make them anyway. I should have cut this side first. Yeah, my glue is giving me heck today. All right, so let's just put these last few little pieces on here. Actually, I want to glue something down here. Make that a little bit more uniform. Let's just do this spot right here. And I thought I was only taking out like maybe 2 doilies and ended up with what, 1, 4, 5? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5. Thought I was taking out like 2 or 3 and ended up with 5. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut that piece off. Make sure this isn't another doily over here. They can be real tricky sometimes. Cut that off. Use that somewhere. So I hope 2024 is treating you guys well. It's already off to a challenging start for me. You can use, you know, I actually like the numbers on my book pages. You can choose to cover those over or you can leave them. I'm going to just use this doily to kind of cover over this seam here. You don't have to because the seams are fine. I think it gives them character. All right. So I'm just going to put that there. Oh, guys, this glue. If it didn't dry clear. Well, if it didn't dry clear, I wouldn't even use it, honestly. All right, so we got a couple more pieces that we can just kind of throw in somewhere. Just throw that right there. So have you guys got any goals for this new year. I'm still calling it the new year because we're only, what, like 14, 15 days in? Watch that be wrong. Maybe it's like the 16th. I'm not sure. If it's the 16th, this month has already flown by, which is crazy. All right. So that's what I've done so far. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more of these pieces off camera, and then I'll come back when this is dry. Okay, guys, I'm back. And for the sake of the video, I went ahead and cut the pieces down while I was off camera. And let me just say, quick disclaimer, I will never use this glue again. Especially not with like anything delicate or with like filigree, like doilies. This is terrible. Excuse me. This all but ruined this. The parts that I glued down using my purple, excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. This, the parts that I glued down with this, of course, my gosh. The parts that I glued down with this dried normally like they usually do. No problem. But the pieces that I glued down with the other glue, I don't know if you can see that, but they still kind of want to stick together. And they're like very tacky still. And that's been about an hour ago that I glued those down. And so I don't know if I'm going to actually like really use these. Maybe I'll go through and the parts, anyway, that, you know, and it doesn't, like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't like that glue. My daughter now has some new glue to use for her little artwork because I won't be using it. But one thing that I did notice with this is how I could have given it more depth. Next time that I'm going to just do the plain one, I will ink around the seams of the page, like in some areas like that where the pieces of paper join or overlap, to give it a little bit more depth, or maybe just, you know, ink it a little bit before gluing it down to the masterboard. So I'm going to choose one that is not as sticky, because I want to do one of each of these on camera with you. This one looks like it's pretty good, so let's just go ahead and deal with that one. I'll have to figure out what to do with those later, because I am going to actually, all of the ones that I cut today, I'm going to try to get those decorated, because that was the point of this. But here are the ones. I didn't do any particular size except for the one with this. I wanted to make these chunky. Can you see that pretty gold? And this is what I actually used. If you guys see these at your craft stores, it's like a natural artist sponge. And I just dipped it in a little bit of paint, and that gave me these really pretty splotches. And then to put the acrylic paint, I have this really beat up brush that I've been having for a while, and I like it because it gives me nice airy strokes. And that's how I create like my acrylic background. Of course, it gives it a really nice look to me. You could always use like a pink or blue or any color, and with that technique, it'll give you, you know, of course it'll be more dark depending on what kind of paint you use. But it'll still be able to give you like where the words kind of fade in and out. And I like that technique. And then of course, these are the ones that I just kind of inked around, and nothing super special. This is, like I said, basically just creating master boards. But the trick was to use paper that was super cheap. And in keeping with that in mind, like I said, I'm going to be using dollar store pieces, like stickers, and then just like cut pieces of scrap paper, you know. And I'll show you one of the tricks that I use just to make sure I get the very most out of each and every one of the things that I use. Don't mind my Oh, what did I do? What did I do with it? Of course, I never can find anything when I'm looking for it. And I know I put it, oh, there it is. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, and it doesn't want to come from under. Of course, my desk got a little bit messy while I was off camera because I did do a couple off camera that I'm going to show you. But anyway, with this, when you cut down using your paper, if you can't get like full circles with this one, I probably could get like maybe not a full circle. But what I do is I go ahead and give myself half circles. Because even if you can't, you're wasting less paper that you're going to throw away. Of course, you can always rip those up and put them into, collages. But I like to use these as page tabs because when you take them out and ink them up, they work really, of course, probably not for this because this is just copy paper, but you can still make a nice tab out of that. And it doesn't matter if you don't cut them the same way, the same size, as long as on your tab they match up. I'll show you in here. I don't think many people are gonna sit and look at the journal tab and say, oh, it's a little shorter on this side. But I use some of the offcuts to make like this tab, and it's a little bit shorter on that side, but as long as it matches up in, at the edge that people really see or turn by, nobody's going to look on that page and say, oh, that's not the same exact size as the other one. But anyway, just another way to get the most out of what you're buying. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is just round these corners because, as I said, I'm not really using these to make tags or anything. I'm just using these to make things that I can stick into pockets and also like add more journaling space to my my journals, so that when my customers buy them, they have extra place. And of course, that's just regular that cardstock, but of course you would never know that it had Christmas paper under it. And of course, that's the beauty of that. So use that stuff that's you can find for really cheap. I already rounded the corners of all of those. So let me just ink that really quick. I was going to use antique linen, but it was a little too light for my liking. So I'm just going to go with a tried and true vintage photo. I got so many inks in there that I don't use, and I really need to start finding ways to use those. Like I've got like coral and turquoise, orange, like pumpkin. I got a candy apple. They're just in there. And I've got my black suit, all different ones like the walnut. And just, I've got to get out. I even have one, I think that's called Gathered Twigs or something like that. That's a really pretty brown. So I need to get away from vintage photo and actually, excuse me, start using more of those. All right, so basically we're just collaging, but using little dollar store stamps and stickers because, of course, this is a budget video. And I've been having these things in my stash for a while and wanted to find a way to use some of this stuff. So we're just I'm going to put together 3 little collages real quick. Don't mind my desk, it's a mess. And just go ahead and end the video after this, and I'll complete the rest of them off screen. So anyway, we're just going to take maybe a little bit of book page scraps, and let's see, just kind of tear that up. Give me like a space, just a little. Of course, won't throw that away. But right here, I'm just going to do that on this one and ink it up. And go in here sideways. Now, again, I actually love this purple one. I use it a lot, and it really holds, excuse me, well. And this one's cheap. And so I'm just going to go alternating on this page. I could have made that a little bit smaller to give me some more of the gold, but it's okay. And we're going to, I like using, when I can, double-sided, because that way you can get, you know, a lot of variety. I have ADHD, so I don't like using doing the exact same thing over and over again. So when I can use double-sided paper in my little projects, that's really great, because then I can give myself a little variety and I don't get bored. All right, so we're going to put that in the middle. I know that's kind of samey, and that's okay. You can come back and add like a piece of little music paper right there, or off to the side. Let's see. Let's add that off to the side. And of course, guys, these can be whatever you want them to be. Later on, after you made like these little bases, you can add lace or, you know, stamping, ribbons, whatever you want to add. You can paint on them. So let's just put that one at an angle. And then I'm going to use one of my really pretty butterfly stickers on this one that kind of goes with that color scheme. And I don't know when you guys go to the dollar store if you'll find these exact same butterflies, but they literally always have some kind of butterfly there. Do I want to use a large one? Let's use a large one. And I kind of like it when my projects have like a little bit of 3D effect to them. So I'm going to leave mine like that. But of course, if you didn't want it sticking off and you wanted to get it as flat as you can to reduce bulk in your journal, of course, you can just peel that little thing off. For this one, I'll just peel it off for the sake of the video. It comes off pretty quickly. For mine, I would normally leave those on because I think that really gives a little bit of dimension. I really like adding dimension. And of course, if you were going to only glue it down using that, you would have just glued on that little spot. And we'll go ahead and put this right here. All right, one down. I think that little gold in it really highlights the gold on the back. All right, so let's do this one. This one we're going to kind of keep simple. I'm going to use one of these blank ones. See if I can't stamp something on there. I have this. Where is it at? This Find Your Way sticker. Let's see if I love how my desk starts out so clean, and by the end of a project it's just like see ya. Everything is just everywhere. So we're gonna put this on here first. Let's see if that'll fit. It will. So we're just gonna ink that up with a little bit of black ink. Sometimes I like to ink, you know, use my words with the, excuse me, vintage photo. I don't know what it is. But because the words on here are black, I think this will be a nice way to kind of highlight, you know, accent the words of the book page, since this is the majority of this one is book page. And so I can use either of these glues. I do like I said, I do like this glue. And it works really well. I haven't really had many problems with this, except for when I go a little too heavy. And this one, of course, made this blank from that Christmas paper. And then we're going to use one of these flowers. And I've been having these in my stash for so long. And of course, you could pull out any of your other little paper flowers or stickers you have. And I'm just going to glue that there. Isn't that cute? All right, and one last one. This one kind of was already inked. I think I just inked that with you. Scatterbrained. All right, and then now we're just going to go with like something a little more bold. I think I have a butterfly that will complement that one. All right, I want that leaf up. Yes, let's do this one like this. And this time I'm just going to take a circle. This, if it fits. And if it doesn't fit, the little piece that you can't, well, this one fit, but like sometimes you'll cut it and then it'll be like this little, see if I have an example. I probably don't have an example because I'm on camera looking, but I know I cut some specifically to show you guys. And of course, I won't find it while I'm on camera. Oh, here we go, right there in my face. But see how a little bit of area didn't all fit all the way in the circle? Don't worry about that. Just use it. If you're going to be putting like a focal little point, just use it to where that is going to be hidden and nobody will ever know. And let's see, did I use another? Actually, I have this cupcake that kind of matches those colors. I think I want to use that. I think that would go cute with that. I do have like a dessert themed journal that I want to work on soon. I've been gathering pieces for, and these will be cute. The little ones with the stickers with the dessert. All right. So let me just really show you really quick the ones that I've made. And then the ones that I made off camera. Push some of the stuff to the side. All right. So this is the one using the doilies. You could go a lot of different ways with that. You can even add paint or stickle to like the little flowers. You can add your little gems. You can add flat back pearls. On the back, you can ink this. You can stencil it. So that was that one. Using just like little pieces of scrap paper and stuff from the dollar store. There's one that I think is super... excuse me, super pretty. And believe it or not, this gold paint I actually got from the dollar store too. It was the only one that I found, but it was like a tall jar, and this is like the best gold paint that I've ever seen at the Dollar Tree, and I have not been able to find it since. So I use it very sparingly and just for like little touches because I can't find it. And of course that's the one that we did together. Simple but effective, nice to stick in like a little tuck or something. There's another one using that master board, another little cute dessert idea. And here's another one of the gold ones with the little gold butterfly. I think that really works well with that. And then we've got this one. I cut some of them sideways to where they kind of look like index cards. And of course you can stamp them. I stamped that one a little bit. And then on the back, I went and kind of grunged up the back and like aged the back with, like, you know, the sweeping technique of my brush or my blender. And that's that one. And of course this one is still tacky, so I don't really know if I'm going to end up being able to use these, or maybe overnight they'll finish drying. I'm not sure. But with that, I'm going to end this project. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Look forward to more, because I am going to be trying to post more this year, 2024, and I'm going to be making the playlist Crafting on a Budget. So look for that. I'll be adding more videos to that. So thank you again for coming. Do not use this glue. Do not use this glue. Alright guys, just wanted to pop back in really quick before the video was completely over. And I did get to finish all of them. I think it was a total of 26 that I got out of the 3 master boards. And I just wanted to show you guys what they look like. I singled out these 3 because I'm going to be using these in a journal that I have that I'm working on currently. And this is one with the doilies. I glue was hectic, so I still got to go tap a little piece, you know, put a little glue, extra glue. And then I chose that one. This one I just kind of simply took one of the large circles, cut it in half, and then layered it with one of my other shapes. And so that way most of the gold shines through, and there's a lot of space for the person to decorate if they want to. And then another one of the doily ones, I just added some blanks with a little bit of stamping and a little bit of 3D effect with that flower. And remember, these are from the Dollar Tree, so very, very cheap. And let me show you the rest of them. I'm making like a Candyland themed journal, a large one. So the ones that I have like the little sweets on, they'll probably end up being incorporated into there. And I really like how the butterflies stick up off the page. It does add a little bulk to a journal, but not too much, depending on what else you use. I just did a little stamping on that one. And this one's, I did rather flat, and I like that one. That one's kind of like this one, similar to that one, just layering. This was a double-sided paper, so since they pretty much coordinate, the back side works well with that one. I just flipped it over. There's another really pretty one. And these, the stickers from the Dollar Tree, they come in such big variety. And you get like 12 for like $1.25. So it's pretty worth it. On this one, I took the little sticky part off from the back. I showed you guys this one on camera, I think. And that way it lays a little bit flatter, say, than, let me find one that, well, say for instance this one. You can see how it sticks off the page a little bit more than that one, but they're both great. This one, you can take a little sticky part off if you like the more flat look like this one. I thought that one turned out really pretty. Another sweetie pie, like sweet themed one, and another one. So at least I know I'll have some of my tags finished for that journal when I get to it. This one's really simple, just some stamping and a butterfly. Here's a really pretty one, if you can see that. That one. So like and all of this was, I think, cost little to nothing. I mean, most of the paper stuff costs little or nothing, but if you can save pennies somewhere, I advocate for saving pennies. I like this one a lot. And I think that one's really pretty too. Now on these last two, like I said, I am making a sweet theme journal. And since these were the ones that I was having a little bit of issue with the stickiness, I went ahead and used large pieces, like little die cuts, to cover kind of the tacky areas. And I made these into like little pockets. So I just kind of glued down the bottom parts and made those into pockets. Same with that one. Little tucks. Now these also, I bought these from a 99-cent store. And they were actually banners, like for a party. So that's another thing you might be able to find very inexpensive. And they've got such pretty glitter on them. And so I think there was like 12 to a pack or something like that. You know, cut the little string, whatever, take them apart, use them. Be creative. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I just wanted to show you guys all the ones that I made because I was able to get them finished. A lot of times I start things and don't get them finished because of, you know, other things going on. But I was proud I got all of those done. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.